there's a new head coach at Corpus Christi, Carroll, taking over at Carroll. Is a guy that we know, a guy whose name has come up a number of times. And here to talk about his new job is the new head coach of the Corpus Christi Carroll Tigers. It is Coach AJ Martinez. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, sir.
How are things in beautiful Corpus Christi?
You know what? They're going good. They're going good. You know, it's a little different situation, but it's been a smooth transition so far.
I will say, we hear in the background you are getting these guys to work. I imagine that was a pretty quick introduction, and then said, "All right, get out there and start running."
That's right. Yeah. No, it was. Getting things done, man. We got a lot of work to do here at Carroll.
I want to ask you. You spent the last 6 seasons at Odem. You were remarkably successful there. Why Carroll? Why this move to Corpus Christi, Carroll? Why was this the right move for you?
Well, obviously moving up in classifications is something that I did want to do. Go to a bigger program that's got a little bit of history behind it. It was kind of a goal of mine. I wanted to, it's one thing I wanted to be able to have that big school experience, and this was an opportunity for me to move up the ranks. So, it's a pretty easy move, family-wise and career move-wise. Is a smart decision, I think. I'm saying it's a smart decision. We're going to find out if it's a smart decision or not. But, no, definitely, a career move and, something I've been looking forward to.
I want to ask you about that move from 3A Division II, a pretty small school, moving up to 5A. That's a pretty substantial jump. What are you expecting as far as the transition is concerned? What are you expecting as far as the differences between the game at the 3A level moving up to 5A?
Well, obviously, you're gonna. The biggest thing is having kids on both sides of the ball that can play. As opposed to having the same kid playing 4 different positions. At the smaller level, which we're used to in Odem, to having kids that specialize at their positions and coaches that specializes on certain sides of the ball. So, I think the biggest transition for me will be, realizing that, hey, man, I can use this kid and he can be fresh on offense all the time. Instead of worrying about, we got to give him some reps off so he can play defense and help us there too. So, I think that's going to be the biggest concern as far as, me trying to learn this big jump to 5A. And, there's a lot of kids. I tell you what, I've been here a week and a half, and I think I only know like 5 kids' names. There's so many of them. So,
at Odem, if you knew 5 kids' names, I mean, that's pretty much half the class. I mean, you guys got there's definitely a numbers jump.
Yes. So it's a big deal here. So it's going to take me a while to get to know these kids, and you know what, even more coaches too. So, but it's good.
I want to ask you about meeting your players and coming in and introducing yourself. That first meeting, that first time you got a chance to talk to your guys, what was that like? What was your message to your new players?
It was just about the mentality that I was bringing in, football-wise and pretty much all around athletic-wise. Obviously that we needed to get a lot stronger, to be able to compete at the next level. And my message was that we're going to raise the expectations, here at Carroll, not only to make the postseason, but also to do well in the postseason. And try to get up there in the likes of a Calallen and those guys. So, it's been a while since Carroll's won a playoff game here in football. So, obviously our goal is going to be to make it into the postseason, but we also want to win some games once we get there. So, I told them that I seen that light in the deeper rounds in the playoffs, and I said, and it's great, and that's exactly what I want them to experience. So, that was probably the biggest message I just sent to them.
We're talking to AJ Martinez, the new head coach of the Corpus Christi Carroll Tigers here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation at hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, one big transition that's going to happen there at Carroll is you're taking over for Jerry Long, who was there for 1 year, and they're moving offenses. They're going from the slot T to the spread. where do you even start in trying to get these kids accustomed to what is a vastly different offense?
Well, we're going to throw the football around a lot during here in the off season. They're only 1 year removed from the spread. So, Jerry came in and he brought the slot T, and they ran it this season. But, before that with Tony Trevino, they were a spread team. So I think my biggest obstacle is going to be, finding a quarterback and finding some receivers that can catch the ball. And really, I think if you're going to be successful in the spread, you need kids that catch thousands and thousands of balls before they even touch the football field. Bunch of reps, I think, and then trying to I got to see who can catch the ball here first. I'm pretty sure they didn't throw the pigskin around very much last year. Them slot T coaches, you know how they feel about that stuff.
Yeah, they typically don't tend to air it out. So you may need to find a couple guys who can rediscover their hands. I do want to ask you about one guy that you had the I imagine you would say the pleasure of coaching at Odem, and Michael Everett, a guy who set state records across the state. We'd be remiss if we didn't take an opportunity to let you brag on him a little bit. This kid was really special for a long time. As the guy who got to watch him day in and day out in practice, what is so special about Michael Everett?
You know what? Michael's natural ability is probably his biggest asset. He, to be able to do what he does and his reaction time to things is just incredible. It was pretty special. He just had that it factor. He's a great leader. And you know what? And that was probably his biggest thing early on when he was a freshman. He was starting for us. He didn't fit into that leadership role because he was just a freshman. But as the sophomore year rolled through, he started getting it more. And I don't know. I want to say that I'm a phenomenal coach, but that kid, you call a play and it doesn't work, he's going to make it work somehow. And the biggest thing that I thought was probably his biggest thing is that his decision making skills were unbelievable. He didn't care about what the odds were. He can fit a ball in a little gap. He's going to fit a ball in a little gap. He's going to make it happen. I probably could brag all day on this kid. He was that good. So, I got to find another one, man. Most of those only come around once in a career.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably would have liked to get him another year of eligibility and say, hey, come on, how do you feel about playing at Carroll? It'd be I imagine if you had your druthers, that would be your move.
Oh, yes, it would. It most definitely would, yes.
We're talking with AJ Martinez, the new coach of Corpus Christi Carroll. Coach, I want to ask you one more thing before we let you go. When people think of Corpus Christi football, with all due respect to the program, they generally don't think of Carroll. Maybe most of them think of Cal Allen, even though it's not a CCISD squad, Flower Bluff, maybe Ray or King when you get into CCISD. Mm-hmm. What do you have to do to change that? What do you have to do to make it so that when people think of Corpus Christi football, Carroll is one of those programs that comes to mind?
Well, we're going to have to win, and we're going to have to win a lot. Make some deep postseason runs, for multiple years in a row. Obviously, it's not going to be 1 year, and people are going to say, "Ooh, Carroll's back," So, Carroll used to be who people talked about back in the early '90s. The goal is to get back to that situation where we're playing in regional finals and filling up big stadiums and, making us the premier name in CCISD. So, it's gonna take a lot. It's not gonna be done overnight, but hopefully give us 3, 4, 5 years, and hopefully that's what they're talking about, just like they were talking about Odem, now. So.
I think you're exactly right. He is AJ Martinez. He is the new coach of Corpus Christi Carroll. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the new job. Best of luck in the offseason, and I'm sure we'll be talking down the road.
All right, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, too.
There he goes, AJ Martinez.